it's how humans behave. So if you're good looking, lean into it, show yourself more, and I guarantee the likability will go up. The second thing that improves likability is your overall vibe. The way you look, the way you dress, the way you sit, your posture, the way you carry yourself, all of that signals silently to someone, and it goes into them deciding if they like you more or not. The third thing, smiling, is great for subconscious likability. Joy is an emotion that transfers through the camera lens. So if you look like you're happy or passionate, people will feel that warmth themselves when they watch you. And then fourth, and this is the easiest one, if you're making education content, if you actually solve a problem for them, mass trust and likability will be transferred. The easiest way to get somebody to like you and trust you is to actually help them with something they're struggling with, agnostic of how attractive you are, how smiley you are, etc. Number 4 is the strongest one. So likability is one of those things that you want to try to achieve all the time, but the reality is you don't want to force it. Just be yourself, be authentically passionate in what you're doing, and then try to live that out. The more value you can deliver and the more valuable you can be, the more likable and trustworthy you will seem to you. Alright, we've approached level 6, and this is really where the Pavlovian response really starts kicking in. But before we go into that, let's just recap where we were. The first level was stimulation. This was subconscious, it's motion, colors, brightness. All you have to do is get somebody to focus, a little bit of dopamine release, but that's what locks them in, right? So that's the precursor. Then we talked about the 3 levels that really have to do with specific video and the storytelling in it. And that was captivation with initial curiosity, anticipation, getting them to guess what's going to happen and maybe leading them through a head fake or zigzag on that curiosity, and then ultimately validation, giving them the answer and closing the loop so that they get that dopamine release on the full cycle. Those were 2, 3, and 4. Then level 5 is likability, right? So you've got the answer from the video, but now we've ascended beyond the message into the messenger, and we're going to likability. If the viewer likes you, they'll give you more leash, they'll have dopamine release every time they see you because they'll remember that they like you, and that'll be helpful. Level 6, the final level, the final frontier, is called revelation. And this is really where the viewer begins to realize that you're going to be a continued source of value for them over time. Now typically both entertainment and education content can ascend from level 1 to 5, but it's much easier for educational content to ascend from 5 to level 6, revelation. Entertainment content can only get to level 6 if the viewer decides that that creator is going to be a consistent source of maximum entertainment for them. Meaning every piece of content they see is going to for sure be above their line when it comes to entertainment. And this is just a really hard bar to achieve. Maybe Mr. Beast has this level of Pavlovian response. Anytime someone sees his face, they know it's going to be entertaining. But if you're an entertainment creator and you're not Mr. Beast, you're competing with Netflix, the NFL, Kai Cenat, Mr. Beast. It's just hard to beat the best maximum bar in the entertainment category. But on the education side, if you solve specific problems for people that have in their life, they will tie you with a consistent source of value for solving in that area. And when they have this revelation that you're going to consistently help them, it releases max dopamine whenever they see you, because you've trained that you equal value. That is the Pavlovian response. As a corollary, imagine dating someone and then realizing that over time, after spending a lot of time with them, you always feel good and you always feel love. That means in the future, whenever you hear their name, you're going to get a huge hit of dopamine because you're going to think positively and feel those feelings again. It's the same way here with content. Now, the way to achieve this level 6 revelation, especially with education content, is to deliver non-obvious, differentiated value over and over and over. If they're deeply struggling with a problem that you talk about, it might only take a couple of pieces of content for them to ascend from level 1 to 6 and then build that Pavlovian response. If they're not really struggling with your topic area that much and it's more of a nice to have, it might take a lot more pieces of content for you to build that Pavlovian block. But either way, when you can hit this level 6 state, you have won the attention game, because it means if they hear your name, see your face, or see your name, even without watching the content, they're going to get the dopamine hit that leads them to watch it. Alright, now super quick before we end this video, I just want to show you one live example of an actual short form video and break down as I narrate through the dopamine ladder and the different levels as we ascend through them. And I'm just going to do short form video because it'll be easier to watch, and because I always do education examples, I'm going to do an entertainment example on this one. Alright, so this example is from a creator named Citizen. If you don't know him, he's kind of like a musician that uses these viral stitch clips to market his music. So we're going to pull the video up on the side, we're going to watch it and then pause it a lot as I narrate through the different pieces. Okay, so the first step in the dopamine ladder, as we know, is stimulation. And this happens fast. Right away, there's a slight zoom in. You see 2 people hugging. You kind of see this like perspective from a car, of a car. It's something you don't normally see on the feed. That alone is all that's needed to give me a slight hit of dopamine and narrow my focus on the video. Next, we go to level 2, which is captivation or curiosity. Now, as I'm watching this unfold through the first like 2, 3, 4 seconds, the questions that are popping in my head is this. First, who are these people? Why are they hugging? Do I care? This almost made me churn because I was like, why do I care about this? Then I look down and I read that little text across. It says, bro, what did I just witness? And that pops the question in my head, what are we about to see? Now I'm curious again. Then, as the girl walks away and gets in the car, I notice the shoelace stuck in the door, and I notice him noticing it. And that pops the question, oh no, is he aware? Is she going to drive away? What's going to happen? Right? 3 or 4 rapid questions in succession. So at this point, my curiosity is pretty high. I've got all these open questions, and I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. Next, level 3 is anticipation. So because I see the main character and he sees that he's stuck, I'm anticipating, is he going to get out or is he going to get dragged by the car? I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen. That's me anticipating the solution. Now, as the car starts pulling away, I can see he's going down, so I'm trying to anticipate what's going to happen. Is he going to be dragged? Are they actually going to film this, right? I'm still really curious. Now, level 4 is validation, where I find out the answer. And in this case, he falls backwards like I would have expected, but then it hard match cuts away to him getting dragged, singing a song. The audio comes in and he starts singing. That's not what I was expecting. So I get the validation of closing the loop that he's okay, but also this shocking head fake moment where the answer is not what I expected. And because now I know he's not hurt, I get that dopamine release with that initial anticipatory loop closing. But also, I'm kind of interested in why is he doing this? Does this music video strategy work, etc. All right, level 5 now is affection. Now here, assuming this is the first video you've seen of this guy, you probably haven't seen enough to determine if you like or trust him or not. And with entertainment content, as I mentioned, it's a lot harder to determine affection and revelation than it would be with education content. But I will admit, I found this pretty funny and shocking, and I kind of give a hat tip to him. So if I saw another video from him, I'd probably watch it because I wanted to see what crazy stunt is he going to come up with next. Now, level 6, the last one is revelation. And it would have taken me probably several other videos, but eventually I would have realized this guy is like a viral marketer meets music. It's kind of an interesting category. And if I like marketing or music or his music, I might realize every time I see one of his videos, I get entertained in this unique way and also get to see his song. So I may associate this like entertainment value drip with him. Now, in this case, I'm not going to have the full Pavlovian effect because this is an entertainment use case. But you can imagine how this ladder would work for educational content. And if he was giving me a tip that I could use in my life, I might have that Pavlovian effect much faster. So this is a great example of how the dopamine ladder works in content. And when Citizen made this video, he specifically engineered those pieces to trigger you through those loops so that you kept watching. And I promise you, if you take any piece of educational content that has worked on you and you analyze it in this way, going through these levels in the dopamine ladder, it'll all be there clearly why you liked it and why you kept watching. All you have to do is figure out how to reverse engineer that when you make your content, and you'll be good to go. Alright guys, that is all I've got for this video. As a recap, we covered the full dopamine ladder, all 6 levels that you need to get the maximum dopamine released in the viewer's brain and get them to keep watching for longer. This will make them addicted to your content if you can do it consistently. Your goal, as I just mentioned, is to use these levels, this framework, as a checkpoint, as a checklist that you can ascend the viewer through. Are you driving the right curiosity? Are you driving the right dopamine releases? This is a great framework for that. As always, guys, I'm trying my absolute best to cover the non-obvious stuff that gives you an edge when you're trying to grow on social media and YouTube. And one last thing, if you're an entrepreneur or a business owner, I built a completely free community called Wavy World that has 65 other trainings just like this one. If you want to learn the advanced mode of YouTube and social media, it's in there for free. Also, there's 37,000 other people in there that are all teamed up, partnered up, giving each other feedback. So if you want a peer group that's in the content trenches as a business owner, they're in there as well. I've got a free invite link for you below in the description. All right, we will see you guys on the next video. Peace.
Italia katika anga. That is how the prophet will sound.
So kimoja yote haya viatu yote na autembeaji na namba clip kutanajia ikikuwa search tutapata haiko under hizo zinaonyesha na upload hii moja lakini tunapelekana ndio so kwa nini ndio mimi si kuna na hizo tunaweka Kenya ndio na wakili wa maskini hivi maskini ndio Oh, okay. So the deposit was 85,000 euros.
Yeah, but I withdrew some of my money.
Alafu ukawithdraw 78, so that means like right now
Nifinye hapo katikati from the side. Pita hivi kando kando uende ufinye.
Interesting.
Hapo katikati like imulike hii stuff katikati. From the side pita kando.
The first person
Click to screen.
Nakubali. Successful. Understand?
Hii stuff.
So you can try to inspire.
Angalia hii stuff
At the end of the day,
yenye nimeshika pale kwa picha
Sasa
katikati ya mikono yangu. Hapo.
Yes.
Naelewa.
Juu kiasi.
This is example ya Sami Juma.
Like hii stuff, si hewa, hii stuff.
At some point, he gave me pressure.
Chini kiasi. Chini. Hapo. Sawa.
Iko nini? Episode 600. So like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend. Na yeah, since the episode 600, na mwaka mweke mse wa napenda mabenz, so most probably ni mse wa S600. Wafikiri kajua ki S600 kila ni
Sijaipenda S-Class. Honestly, sijaipenda S-Class.
kwa nini?
Mimi ukila S-Class ni Obama. Watu wazee. Sijaipenda S-Class.
Utaki kitu big ilo naingia nayo pahali na kila mtu
Acha nitembee na kitu saizi. Bro, mimi bado nauza zangu kwa nati.
Yeah.
Kati za vijana.
So yeah, tuko na Kenyan Prince and Kenyan Prince lazima nikuulize kitu moja ilikuwa ni last year kuna vile huyu anaitwa nani Flaco aliwachomea
As a financial expert, they can come to me and tell me that I need to invest this money in trading. Can you do it on my behalf?
yes.
Is there any problem if I do it on their behalf? It's still being because these are still have invested. We need each other. So look, if this person has invested in trading, up on a funding, nana scheme, you can do it on their behalf.
But sasa pia utakuwa naanza kwa hizo which is with that person you target the vulnerable.
I'm not targeting the vulnerable. You see, Mwafrika one other thing you need to realize is that I have a physical school.
Yes.
I have a physical location. I have a physical school in Westlands called the Kenya School of Forex where